Josh, what went right for you guys on defense today?
I just think we executed. We had a game plan that we worked on all week, changed some things around, and then we had some rough moments out there, but for the most part, our intensity was up, execution was up, and I think we just went out there and played ball, played fast.
Sometimes it does.
Got a lot of turnovers as well. Was that an emphasis going into this week, was creating turnovers?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like that should be the emphasis for any defense. Got to take the ball away, get offense more chances to go out there and score. So, yeah, it was an emphasis for sure.
And Texas Tech plays pretty fast. You guys were on the field a lot as a defense in the second and third quarter. How worn out were you guys, and then how big was it for you guys to get a couple turnovers there?
It was huge to get a couple turnovers. We were definitely a little tired, a little gassed. The tempo gets to you after a while, later in the game, sun's out. We done played a few snaps and all that stuff like that, so we got tired a little bit. But getting those turnovers are huge to get us off the field.
And you see Felix and Khalid get home for a couple sacks. How much does that just fire up the whole defense? And can you just speak on how good those guys are?
I mean, those guys are monsters. Y'all saw it for yourselves. I mean, they both had 3 sacks apiece, so that speaks for itself, But it's huge being able to know that we got guys up front that are going to get home. Not they might get home, they're going to. So, on the back end, I know I got to cover for 5 seconds max, and if the ball isn't out by then, they're going to be there. So it makes the game a little more comfortable. I can take a couple more risks.
Echo seemed like he got challenged a lot there earlier in the game, and then he comes up with that stop on 4th down.
Yeah.
What did you think about that moment for him?
I mean, I think that shows, if anything, resilience. Being able to bounce back after a big play. You're being targeted a little bit and being able to come in and make a play when you need it. So I think that's huge. Just speaks to the resilience of him as well as everybody else in the back end.
How's it feel to kind of respond this time? And came off the emotional high against Missouri and fell, but this time the emotional high from Oklahoma, but responded.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was definitely an emphasis this week too. Coming off a big one, we can't fall into that low. Being able to come out and execute, even though we know that we feel like we might be better or whatever the case may be. Being able to come out and execute and dominate, and I think that was the biggest thing we had to make sure we focused on today.
When your offense scores quickly, does that make it hard for you to get right back out there again?
I don't think it makes it harder. I think it gives us more energy, if anything, being able to see that, okay, our offense is rolling, now we got to roll, just being able to go out there and play, just having that chance, not having to sit on the sideline for a whole 3-4 minutes, that's huge at the beginning of the game and getting into that groove of it. So, I appreciate it.
Josh, you had a season high in tackles today. Can you just kind of walk us through that process of playing fast and wrapping up?
I don't even know how many I had. I was just out there playing ball, but I feel like it's the emphasis every week. Just making sure we're running through tackles and everything like that. And I had some plays come my way, so I just had to execute at that point.
That's the kind of team that's kind of fun to play as a safety on the back end.
Yeah,
those ball.
Oh yeah, it's super fun. Being able to read quarterback, working off the plant transfer and all that stuff like that is huge. This is Big 12 football, and I think this is every DB's dream, when they're going to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, and you just got to wait for your opportunity to take one of those away. So, yeah, that's super fun.
How accurate was Donovan Smith today?
I think it was pretty accurate. He got some balls in, picked our coverages apart a little bit, and, we had to make some adjustments and all that stuff like that. But he's a hell of a player for sure.
You feel like you guys limited the big plays enough today to keep them at bay?
I mean, the scoreboard, that speaks for itself, because those big plays, that's how they work, That's how they win games. And, if you take those away, it's hard for them to really methodically drive down the field all the time. So I think we did a good job, and that's why we won.
How much can you guys take from the first road trip to going to Ames next weekend?
Just that it's going to be a tough environment, and on top of that we have to be focused, because this isn't just some podunk team. This is Iowa State, and they're ready to play ball just like we are. So it's going to be fun.
Thanks, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Josh, I know you were games. I think the most either one of them had was like 50 yards rushing. So.
I mean, that's huge, being able to limit their big players, the guys that they lean on, being able to limit those guys is huge, And I think that we did a good job not only with the guys in the backfield, but with the quarterback and the receivers as well. I think we kind of helped corral all of their big play guys, and that eventually helped us win.
Josh, what do you feel like you guys proved today?
We're a damn good football team. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like we proved. But truthfully, I just feel like that we prove that we can execute on a higher level. You know, when the tempo's up, you know, they're trying to get 90, 100 plays off in the game. You know, being able to execute even under that pressure, I think we proved that we can do that.
We shot with the same store, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so.
How were you guys able to overcome adversity? You know, that's one of the things the coach was in here talking about, was just the fact that you guys faced adversity and were able to overcome it.
Yeah, I think, well, the first thing is that there is always going to be adversity, you know, so being able to expect that, and then also knowing that once that hits, you know, you can't fall back or fall down. You have to stand back up and, you know, play the game just how you played it when nothing was going wrong, you know. Have to have that same intensity, that same energy.
How did you guys – go ahead, Arnie.
I was going to say, just even though you get a lot of yards, the big plays really kind of made up for it. Fourth down stops, the sacks and everything. How big is that to kind of mitigate some of the damage?
I think it's I just think, you know, that's kind of how football works. You know, you aren't going to be able to stop everybody and hold them to 3 yards every possession. You know, like guys are going to make plays where Division I football players, we're all here for a reason, and Texas Tech isn't a bad team at all. You know, so just knowing that, okay, they are going to get some plays, but we have to be able to bounce back and, you know, change the tides once things might not be going our way anymore.
I think there was one sequence where you got the fourth down stop and then got the strip sack.
Yeah.
And that seemed to kind of really turn it finally for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it was a back and forth game pretty much from after the first half of the first quarter, you know, so we were just kind of fighting back and forth, and, you know, I think that fourth down stop and then coming back out and getting the strip sack with Felix, I think that just helped morale more than anything. Just helped us, you know that we could finish this, and then at that point we just knew we had to do what we had to do.
How good of a pass rush duo do you have with Khalid and Felix up there?
I mean, they're monsters, to say the least. I mean, like I said just a few minutes ago, like I know on the back end that if the ball isn't out in 3 to 5 seconds, those guys are going to get home with all the stunts and stuff that we have up front. So, I mean, having those guys up there makes my job a lot easier. So I love having them there.
Thanks, Josh.